Hello, welcome to another video review, and today is the big one. Today we are going to review Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. This is one of the most anticipated games of this year since the Switch has been announced. The fact that we got a new Mario game within the first year of the system, and I'm not talking about Mario Rabbids. This is a Super Mario game, an actual Mario game starring Mario. It's his first single-player adventure since I think Galaxy 2. This is one of the biggest deals of the year. Oh boy, this game's hard to review because there's not a lot of negative things to say about it. And I love this game from beginning to end. It's just pure and utter joy from beginning to end. I enjoyed every moment I played this game, and I'm still enjoying it after. Super Mario Odyssey is just a pure and utter joy. I loved every minute of it. And we have to start with what the story is. So the story of this one's a little bit different than some of the other Mario games. Bowser has kidnapped Princess Peach to marry her, and they don't really make sense of why he wants to do that, and they don't make sense at the end of what the whole purpose of that part of this game was, but it was fine. Like I think easily the story is probably the weakest part of this game, and that's not even a detriment. If you could pick a weak part of this game, that's probably the weakest part, at least to me. This game is all about the exploration, the fun of just discovering the different things in the game for yourself, and it's so packed full with not only different things to find and different things to hunt down, but also just surprises. There's a ton of surprises in this game, and a lot of them I'll talk about in the spoiler section of this video review, because I don't want to spoil anything for people that haven't enjoyed this game yet. But this right now is like, if you needed a reason to buy a Nintendo Switch and Zelda wasn't compelling enough for you, Super Mario Odyssey should be the game that you buy a Switch for. And they made a bundle. They made a bundle that comes with Mario Odyssey, so I feel like if you're somebody out there and you're on the fence, I don't know if I want a Nintendo Switch, now you have two really great games, two of the best games in this year for the system to buy easily. And the biggest thing always when it comes down to purchasing a system is, are there good games to play? Nintendo Switch has two of the best games they've put out as a company, Nintendo, in years. So, easily, one of the best games of the year. Could be my game of the year. Just saying. You team up with a character named Cappy, and Cappy is like he's basically a little boo that has like a top hat, and his sister is named Tiara, and it's a little tiara, the tiara that Princess Toadstool is wearing. So you have a mutual effort to save these two people. He basically becomes your Mario hat, and so you're throwing it on different people. What makes this different than previous Mario games is the mechanic here is simple. You throw your hat on different objects and different enemies in the environment, and you suck yourself into them and you become them. It's a different and crazy way to play a Mario game, and I honestly wasn't expecting it. When it was originally shown off, it kind of blew my mind. And this is very much also a direct sequel to Mario 64 in many different ways, and we'll get to more of that in the spoiler section of this video, but it really is. And I haven't played, strong note here, I didn't play either Galaxy game. The last single-player Super Mario game I played was Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube. I missed out on the Wii ones because I just didn't really care at the time. And I did play 3D World, I did play New Super Mario Brothers. I've always had more of an affinity for the 2D Marios than the 3D Marios, but I like everything when it comes to Mario. And I feel like this is the strongest entry that Mario has seen in at least 15 years. So there's really not a lot of negative things to say about this game, which is surprising. I played majority of the game with the Switch docked into TV mode with a Pro Controller, but I can say also that it's a pretty solid portable game as well. It works fine there. This is a big game, and I felt like it deserved being displayed on a big screen rather than a small screen, but I know a lot of people out there are going to be experiencing this game through the handheld mode of the machine, and that's fine too. I get it. I totally understand. So, and it works great both ways. Like, it can be on its own, it can be a standalone, handheld thing if you really want, but I think you owe it to yourself to play this on a television because it just looks incredible. I think some of the music in this game, graphically, it's jaw-dropping for a Mario game. I'm still in this, like, honeymoon situation with the Switch and even with the Wii U of high definition graphics for Nintendo games, but I think Mario Odyssey is one of the best looking games Nintendo's ever put out, and that's including Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's just visually really impressive. It's colorful. It's such a nice breath of fresh air, and for me personally, like a palate cleanser, because I play a lot of shooters. You know, I have Wolfenstein 2 sitting here, so I play a lot of shooters and stuff, and this was such a breath of fresh air for me because I play all those other, you know, gritty, dark, violent games, shooting things all day, and this isn't one of those. This is a fun game for all ages. Anybody can sit down and play this Mario game. You can be a 5-year-old kid, you can be a grown-ass adult like me, and you can enjoy Mario Odyssey. It's just that good of a game. There's only 2 minor gripes I have with this game. Number 1, the 2-player mode is incredibly tacked on, lackluster, and half-assed. Basically, in 2-player mode, one person controls Mario and the other person controls Cappy. It just doesn't work great. It doesn't feel great. I played this mode with my girlfriend for about 5 minutes and we both hated it. It's not good. It's not a fun or an enjoyable way to play or experience this game. So I kind of wish they would have just left that out, but I understand why Nintendo felt like they needed to put this in the game. However, pretty much everybody going into Mario Odyssey is going into this game as a single-player Mario game. So I feel like they could have left it out and everybody totally would have been fine with it. My only other complaint with this game is the camera is sometimes a hindrance in this game. There were a couple boss fights that became a little challenging just because the camera got into the way of it. You can actually control the speed of the camera in this game. It's kind of new for a Mario game. Maybe they did it in the Galaxy games. Again, I didn't play the Galaxy games, but that's a nice option to have in this game. However, the camera does get in your way at times. There were a couple boss battles that I died a couple times where I felt like I wouldn't have if the camera was just a little bit better. But again, those are 2 minor gripes for this game, and honestly, if those are the things, and I'm really kind of grasping at straws for something negative, there's just not a lot of negative in this game. Overall, it's an incredibly positive experience from beginning to end, and I feel you owe it to yourself to go out and buy a Nintendo Switch for this game. So before we get into spoilers here, I'll give you my grade on this game. It's going to be an A+, easily an A+. One of the best games I've played this year. Could be the game of the year. It's that good. It's that enjoyable of an experience, and I think everybody out there should get their hands on this game and play it. It's that good. I briefly want to talk about spoiler stuff, so the rest of this video is going to be spoilers. If you don't want to know anything else about Mario Odyssey, you know my review, you know my score, you should go out and buy the game. So spoilers from here on out. So a couple things I want to talk about in this game. Firstly is it is directly, pretty much as direct a sequel to Mario 64 as you can get. So basically what that means is when you finish the game, when you beat Bowser and everything's over at the end of the game, you go back to the Mushroom Kingdom. This isn't just any version of the Mushroom Kingdom, it's literally the Mario 64 version of the Mushroom Kingdom. There are the paintings you can jump into to go to previous bosses. It's all modeled after Mario 64. You can even actually have Mario in a polygonal Mario 64 suit, and it's such a throwback to that game. If there's one thing I'll say about Mario Odyssey is it is kind of like Mario Maker in the sense of it's just a celebration of Mario for the past 30 years. There's so many hints and nods and winks to previous Mario entries. One of my other favorite features in this game is the Link Between Worlds option where you'll jump into like a 2D platforming section of the game and it plays like a retro Mario game. That's really cool and really well done. It's even important to note when that happens, like the music even changes to 8-bit music instead of the full-fledged music that you're used to in the game. Awesome, awesome stuff, just through and through. It's an incredible experience. The other big thing I wanted to note about, one of the biggest surprises, again, spoilers, so when you finish the New Donk City level, which is the big Metro Kingdom, with the one that everybody's seen, the weird Sonic Adventure area, basically, where there's like real people, and then you question like, well, what is Mario if he's not a real person? When you finish that area, basically you have a task, and I don't have video footage of this part, unfortunately. I wish I did. But when you finish that whole task, and your task in that part of the game is the mayor of the town, Pauline, which I thought was a humorous throwback. is the mayor of the town, and she wants to put on a band performance. So you have to go out and you have to find different band members to play this rendition of this song. After you do that, you are treated to an epic 2D level that is essentially old Mario / Donkey Kong. And that's what it is. And it's an incredible experience that harkens back to just celebrating the long history of Super Mario, for over 30 years. And it's just an incredible experience, and it's easily one of the best moments in any game I've played this year. And there's a lot of those in this game, but that one stuck with me the most throughout the entire experience. There's many, many different worlds to explore. There's different outfits you can wear. And you can use different amiibos to unlock certain outfits. It actually made, these stupid amiibos that I bought worth something for once. It's cool. It's just such a fascinating, excellent celebration of Mario as a character and the legacy that he's had for 30 years. I mean, you think about it, like, what other video game franchises have been around and been as impactful as Mario for the past 30 years? Not really a lot. So this game just is such a huge celebration, and it's such a good capper to the first year of the Nintendo Switch and how promising this machine has been from day one. And I love this game to death. You owe it to yourself to go out and buy a Switch if you don't own one to play this game. It's that good of a game that I think it's easily a system seller. And you also have Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you haven't played that, that's another reason to buy a Nintendo Switch. So again, to reiterate, A+, almost perfection in my book. There's a couple little things that hinder the game, but for the most part, everything about it is pretty much perfect. And I was a little concerned before the game came out. I thought, oh, maybe we're rushing into a Mario game too quick. But no, this game is just that good. It's so incredible. It's such a joyous occasion. And like I said, the story mode of the game will take you about 10 hours. But then after that, the game opens up in such a huge fashion. I think there's over 1,000 of these moon pieces to collect. I have like 180 of them so far. So I'm on the low end of the spectrum, and honestly, this is a game I want to come back to from time to time and pick at rather than just rush through it. But it's such an incredible experience. So I love this game to death. Through and through, it's one of the best games I've played this year. Highly recommended. Anyways, guys, if you like this video review, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.